What's up? Welcome back to the Limitless Parent Blueprint. Today, we are going to talk about the dad bod myth. The idea that kids ruin your health is just killing your fitness gains. Fatherhood didn't break your body. Motherhood, on the other hand, there's like physical evidence, right? It's like you held a kid, you maybe had a C-section, you gave birth, maybe you tore down there. Like there's a lot of things that physically do happen to a mom, but it doesn't have to be your destiny. Right? Your diagnosis is not your destiny. You can change that kind of thing. What happens though, on a larger perspective, is that routines change. So the dad bod isn't because you had a kid. It's not the kid's fault. Like, let's fix what you're actually doing. Let's fix your inputs, your food, your sleep, your workouts, and then we'll transform. I promise you. Just because you're a dad doesn't mean you can't be healthy. Doesn't mean like all of a sudden like you're not able to achieve these things. It's harder, without a doubt. I'm here to help guide you through that and understand that it's normal and it's a process, and you have to be realistic and you have to have a plan and a blueprint that's built for you, not something that's like going to be unrealistic or like following some 22-year-old like influencer plan on Instagram who's got no responsibilities. So the dad bod label is dangerous because of the psychology. It just normalizes decline, normalizes that like you have an excuse, you have justification as to not being in the shape that you want to be in, or being hurt all the time, or feeling achy all the time. Yes, that stuff will happen, but it doesn't have to be the norm. It doesn't have to be your life. It convinces you that it's just how it goes. You just take it for what it's worth. I'm just happy to be alive, surviving another day, not what you want to actually feel, move forward with, right? So what changes with kids? Experienced it firsthand. That's what made me dive into this. That's what made me fall in love with like, how can I help more people in my situation? Because I finally realized how easy it could be to lose sight of your own health and not take it seriously. And sleep is going to change. You're going to sleep less, especially in like the early, 0 to 12 months realistically. Stress is going to go through the roof, especially your first kid. Like, I would total identity shift. There's so much more responsibility. How you spend your time is completely different. Schedule wise, like you don't have the free time. You don't have the capability of just like sneaking out of the house for an hour on a Saturday because, wife's doing something or whatever. Like, you gotta make it a priority. You gotta schedule these things. And then your recovery and your stress and your sleep and your nutrition habits are what is inhibiting your metabolism from working as efficiently as it should. And that is the problem. Your metabolism just all of a sudden slows down because, God and the universe were like, oh, you're a parent, so we got to slow down your metabolism now. Not how it works. Just dads beforehand give themselves time to train. And they train like they don't have kids. And then all of a sudden they don't transition to training like they have kids, and like they aren't sleeping as well, and like they have more stress. So they continue to try to train the same way, and they realize it's not doable. And then they just go from very hard to nothing, usually is what happens. And they're like, well, I can't find the in between because like I don't know how else to work on my fitness. And the programs, right, what they're following don't match their reality, unfortunately. The volume, the intensity, it needs to be scaled to what you're capable of doing in the moment, yes, but also what you're capable of recovering from, because recovery becomes harder when you have less sleep, when your nutrition isn't as dialed in, when you have more stress. So you have to scale back your intensity and your volume because of the recovery aspect, not because you're not capable of doing it in the moment, but because of what it's going to require your body to go through and do in between the workouts. And what you're not giving yourself time to do is recover. So the real fix: avoid the dad bod. Don't fucking fall for it. Don't feel like you got to get fat, and stop working out all the time when your wife is pregnant. Like, it starts there. Like, a lot of people just go down the rabbit hole at that point, and that's only furthering you from your goals. It's only furthering you from being a better parent, all that stuff. Better recovery, smarter training, less skill, more structure, less, I'm going to shoot for the stars, and more like I'm going to do the basics. So the identity shift from like, I was an athlete, I'm like the top of the world, like I got this, I'm the young guy, I can figure this out, to like, I'm a tired dad. I got the dad bod. It is what it is. It's like, the kids. It's the kids' fault. No, it's not. It's your fault. You didn't adapt. You're not adapting to your reality and your schedule and your life. And those are things you chose. And now you're just not doing the work to maintain what you actually do want because it's hard and it takes change and it takes a little bit of thought. The healthier you are, the better parent you are. I don't think anyone's confused about that, honestly. Obviously there's a bell curve there. Like if all you do is not spend time with your family and you work out and you are, a narc about food, like, yeah, arguably you're doing your family and your kids a disservice. You're not being the best parent you could be, but it takes an extreme to get there. Most people are on the opposite side of that extreme. They're not taking care of themselves at all, and they are worse off for themselves and for their family because of it. The parent who trains smart and takes care of himself is usually the parent that does better financially. It's usually the parent that has more of a fun and reinvigorating social life, better group of friends that lift and empower, and it's doable. Like, stop giving yourself that justification, that excuse. This goes for moms too. Like, give yourself a lot of grace during pregnancy, after the fourth trimester, and that year and a half, like, especially depending on what your schedule is. If you work, if you don't, have a career, all that plays a massive factor, but you're still capable. It's not that all of a sudden you have a kid and you're a mom, this is your identity, that you shouldn't be as healthy as you want to be. Um, just be realistic and make a plan dedicated to you and what you can achieve, and have your expectations be in line with that. So if you want a clear blueprint for your life built tailored to you and your family, your situation, fitness, nutrition, recovery, all the stuff you need to live a healthy parent life, then check out the Limitless Blueprint. Link is in the show notes. Always feel free to share this with another parent that you think it could help. And until next time, be limitless. Peace.